Good evening, everybody. Welcome. I'm Diana. Welcome to the channel Build a Quilt. Tonight is Wednesday Workshop Live. So so happy to have you all with us this evening. Hello, everybody. I have like a medium large amount of stuff to go over with us tonight, but I don't know that we'll have to take the whole hour. We might. Depends on how much we want to discuss. That's just my thought for this evening. It's been one of those days, for true. So if you are just joining us in the comments, please type in your name. Let us know where you're from, or say hello, or say whatever you want to say. Just, keep it good. Keep it nice. There's our good friend Sue from Indiana. Hi, Sue. How are you tonight, dear? So lovely to have you with us this evening, as always. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome in. Build a Quilt is all about making beautiful patchwork with our embroidery machine. Patchwork, not embroidery that looks like patchwork, but real patchwork. You can see some of our blocks around here. And tonight is actually block 10 of our 24 block challenge. So we'll go over more of that as well. I will tell you, well, maybe I should tell you in a few minutes. Let's let everybody get in here. The video for the first 6 blocks are done, but I'll explain that in a minute. So it's warmed up the last couple of days. I think last week I told you it got nice and cold and autumny. Yesterday it was 66, and today it was in the mid 60s too. What up? Seriously. However, Monday there's an itty bitty chance that we'll get some snow. Not a lot, like flurries probably, but I'm all in for the snow. I'm ready for it. Bring it lots. I love the snow. We haven't gotten any snow really of any significance. Like I think last year in total, maybe 4 inches in total in our area. I mean, I know up closer to Chicago, they got more. And I think even in the southern part of the state, they got more, but we just got like nothing. It was very disappointing. Anyway, so welcome in everybody again. All righty. So let's go ahead and start our evening out. Yeah, let's go ahead and start our evening out with our cartoon. Now, I got a big chuckle out of this. This is not the same company that I've been like pulling their, I give credit, like these aren't mine. I haven't come up with them. I give credit to the company, but these are not from the company I've been using a lot lately. This is something new. So I found these thanks to Junk Journaling. I think that's the name of the company that these came from. This was some stuff I saw on Etsy. Go over and check them out, because I think you can like buy these as posters or something. And I thought they were wicked cute. So the gal up at the top, she's cool, she's styling, she's got her ripped jeans, whatever. Is that how we all feel? Like we're put together, we're ready to go when we start our quilting, right? And then by the time we finish, I think we look a little bit more like this lady here, don't we? If you can relate to this, you drop a comment and let me know if you can relate. Now, I've been known to like do my whole work session in my bathrobe before. So, but yeah, I mean, sometimes I start out, I'm all ready to go. I'm good. I'm hitting it all right. I'm doing it. I'm hitting on all cylinders. And by the time I'm done, the eye thing on the second one just totally got me. My eyes are so like weirded out and stuff. So I thought this was cute. Now, I think she's looks like she might be more of a seamstress, a garment maker, but the idea still works for quilting. Anyway, if you can relate, you can let me know in the comments. I thought this is the start. This is how I feel at the finish. I love that they both do it in their slippers too. I always work in my slippers because since I mostly work from home, I wear slippers all day long. It's very nice. It's not the traditional work at home that you think about, but unless I'm working in the garden, then no slippers. Then I'm in my boots, my garden boots. Anyway, I thought this was cute. And again, thanks to Junk Journaling over at Etsy. Go check them out. She had some really cute thing. Sue says, that is me. I'm the bottom picture. Yeah, I get you, my friend. I absolutely do. But I'm sure you don't start out that way, Sue. I bet you're all cool and put together when you start, right? We like to think of ourselves like this, at least, right? All put together. But I thought it was super cute. I like that one. I had a good chuckle over it, which was a good thing because I had a really bad scenario with IKEA today. Oh, here's our good friend Ruth from out in Washington State saying hello. Hi, Ruth. So good to see you, dear. So you guys know I'm live and breathe IKEA. I think, if their stuff is a little plain for you, there are ways to zhuzh it up a little bit, right? There's a way to make that old Billy bookcase look like it's a nice built-in bookcase. There's even if you have like a bunch of Kallax, but you put doors and drawers and stuff on them. So those itsy bitsy ones that they put on there, which I'm sorry, like why even bother? No human can actually like open them. Get yourself some nice little knobs. You don't have to pay an arm and a leg, but you can buy some nice little knobs and really make that piece look nicer. But I've never ever, I've been shopping at IKEA since 1989. I have never ever, no, not once had a bad experience with them until today. And it wasn't them, it was their not even their delivery service. It was the company that was supposed to come and take away our old mattress. We replaced our mattress. Boy, did I sleep well last night. And I have my paper. It says mattress removal coming on the 5th. Today is the 5th, right? I did get that right. Yes, I did. Coming on the 5th. We had the mattress ready. Dave had it ready this morning in the garage so they could just come and I could open the door and whoosh away. And there you go. They never showed up and they never showed up and they never showed up. And I've been like working all day. I did some filming and stuff and it's like 4-ish. And by 4-ish, I'm starting to think about like prepping the studio. I'm starting to think about going to make myself like a little sandwich or something for dinner and making sure there's something in there that Dave can eat when he gets home from work because he always gets home after I start in the evening on Wednesdays or like we cross paths, ships in the night kind of thing. And so I always make sure there's something and he's really easy. So if there's leftovers, honey, eat leftovers tonight. And he's like, cool, I'll eat leftovers. So, but I try to do those final things. But I got on the phone because I didn't want them to come and get this mattress if he's not home and there's no one here. I get on the phone, they say, oh no, they're not coming till tomorrow. Well, I rejiggered my whole week so that I would be here in the time frame that they said they were coming today. And they said, no, they don't even pick up mattresses down by you except on Thursdays. I'm like, that's not what your computer said. And when we scheduled it, we were looking at the computer with the person at the desk. He said, that's the date. I can't change it. I'm like, fine, whatever. And so it was a bad situation. So I don't know who got what wrong, but I have been a little perturbed since about 4 p.m. So a couple of hours now, I've been a little perturbed. But now it's all gone. See, I'm all smiles because I'm with you guys and we're talking quilting and we're having fun quilting and that's all that matters, right? I think so. So I don't know why I don't know what that meant to be led to, but I showed you the cartoon. So let's bring the cartoon back up because I can tell you for sure the second lady here, the finished part, that's how I felt this afternoon after I got off the phone with IKEA. I needed that cup of coffee for sure. I probably could have used that cup of coffee maybe with something else in it too. I don't know. It was so frustrating. But anyway, we did get that new mattress. Slept like a baby. Really, we both slept really well last night. Dave called me this morning and said, so because he had to go to work really early this morning. They have some folks there from overseas doing an inspection for Europe. And so he had to be the host for one of the visitors. And so he had to be in early to make sure everything was set up and all. And so he called me. How'd you sleep? Were you okay? And I'm like, yeah, thumbs up, honey. We did good. So, but today I have been working on, so tonight's block 10, the pattern is out on the website and the video is out for those of you who don't want to participate and watch us on Wednesday night. You just want to go straight to that video and get your work done. I get you. So it's out. this leads me to the other conversation that I started earlier. We started those videos when a bunch of folks requested them, starting with block 7. So 7, 8, 9, and 10. We've done 4 independent videos now, and we're going to continue that all the way through. So I was going to try and do them for you guys for all the original 6 blocks. There's just no way, guys. I'm so sorry. We've got the Quilt Lab Quilt Along going. We have our new star chart one, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute, going. There was no way under the sun I was going to get 6 more videos done, because I'm already starting to do stuff to plan stuff for next year too. And I'm trying to finish up things that we have coming for the holiday season. So I just couldn't do it. But what I did, and I ask your forgiveness for not doing an individual video on each and every one. But the other problem was all these first 6 blocks were complete. And I certainly didn't have time to make new ones. So to show each and every little piece. So what I did is I did a compilation video of the first 6 blocks. I show you the block. I tell you anything special about it. We talk about it for a little bit, and then we move on. So all 6 of those are there. You can always come back and watch the live from that night for that block and get any additional information that I may have forgotten about. And I hope that's okay. Because there was just no way I was going to get 6 more of them done. I'm so sorry, but not going to happen. You guys understand. This time of year starts to get rolling busy, right? And now I'm planning like the get together with Dave's staff. And and there's something else I need to tell you guys, and I might as well tell you now. I don't know that it's going to happen, but we'll see. I have an audition on November 15th. If I am cast in this play, I may end up having to make Wednesday night a video and not a live through January. I'm sorry. We can try, like, if there is another night of the week, or if there's a different night of the week where I'm not going to have rehearsals, if I'm cast. I mean, I haven't been cast on anything yet, right? There's nothing. So it might not even, but I wanted to give you a warning. Wednesday night workshop might have to switch a little during the holidays if that's the case, but I will make sure and let you know. Maybe we can do it like during the day before the evening. We can do it earlier in the day live or something like that. That could work for sure. But if I'm cast, I'm almost positive we'll end up having Wednesday night rehearsals. And so, but we'll make something work. Okay. I just want to give you a little heads up on that. Alrighty. So I think I told you guys about the new quilt along last week called Star Chart. There we go. Star Chart. Well, the week 1 video is now out on the website since Tuesday. These go live every Tuesday at noon. This is our quilt that we're making. These are the actual fabrics I'm using. And I tell you all about that in the video. But the full pattern is available out on the website. Now, I did it this way. Usually in a quilt along, I give you a segment each week. That way you just have to like put your head down, you're ready to go. But this is only a 4-week quilt along. It's super simple. 2 component segments. That's all we're doing for that whole quilt. I know it looks crazy. 2 of them. That's it. That's all we're doing. So you have the full pattern and the files that you need to make the segments. So if you are one of our regular Build A Quilters, like our friends Sue and Ruth and Kathy and all of you ladies and Tanita, then you can grab this full pattern set and go to town, right? Don't even have to watch the videos. Although watch the videos because they're fun, right? We get to chat a little bit. I can answer any of your questions and I give you extra tips and stuff like that. But all I'm saying is if you are a regular Build A Quilt person, you're going to be able to do this. And I wanted you to have the full pattern so you weren't waiting around, especially since we're rolling into the holidays. And so I just thought I'd go over it real quick. So that's the cover. The 2 pieces, square and half square. That's all that is. Okay. So the week 1 video that's out there, it talks about the fabric, cutting your fabric, and getting your segments, getting into the process of getting your segments made. Because next week we're going to talk about cutting them out of the stabilizer and putting the first 2 blocks together. You get the full big brouhaha there. Oh, I've got my pages out of order. You get, again, the full, this was out in another handout, a free handout, but this fabric info is in there again. This time you're getting a coloring sheet of the full quilt. That way you can really play around. Now, I meant to tell you, and I think I mentioned this in the video, I got an email. It's been a couple weeks ago, at least, maybe a couple months ago. I can't remember. I'm horrible with like remembering times and dates. There is a Build A Quilter, bless her heart. I think she's incredible that she does this. And I promised her I wouldn't use her name because she asked me not to. She cuts out little swatches of the fabrics that she wants to do and like glue sticks them on so she can see what it's going to look like in the fabric she's going to use. Isn't that incredible? I don't have that time, but bless her heart, she does. And I bet those little minis look really good. There's got to be a way she can use that somehow. Don't you guys think that's incredible that she does that? Like that's how she plays. She decides on her fabrics. She cuts out the little bitty mini pieces of fabric and glues them on there. She's one of those people that can work with tiny pieces. See, this is why I only use Build A Quilt to make my miniature quilts. I can't do that freehand. There's no way on the earth I can do that. But she does, and I'm sure they look great. And then you get the full block layout or diagram, and then you get the cut sheet. Tells you what to cut, how much to cut, and then the next page is the creation to tell you what you're going to create, layouts, all of that, the stuff that usually comes in here. But the one thing that is in here that doesn't normally come in the information until later, if we're going to talk about it, is there are 2 sheets in here that give you all the information you need for binding and all the information you need for batting and backing, whether you're doing the quilting on your own or whether you are taking it to a long armor. Okay. So you've got everything you need just to go to town. Sue says, I might try this quilt in Christmas prints. Sue, I was just thinking about it. I think this would be beautiful in Christmas prints. I really think it's lovely. And it's only a 40 by 40 wall quilt. So, or a 40 by 40 quilt. It could be used as a nursery quilt, a throw, lap quilt, whatever you want. But it would be beautiful in holiday prints. In fact, the block we're doing tonight, I've made in fabrics that I think could actually be used as holiday prints. We'll talk more about that. But all of this, the full pattern is out on the website, and the first video for week 1 has been live on the channel since Tuesday. So I just wanted to make sure that we went over that and that everybody knew it. Now, I have a surprise for you guys because I don't know if you've heard or not. You guys know about the color cube, right? Our good friend, the color cube. I've been trying to give you tools all year for color inspiration, right? Color cube 1 and 2. This is my original color cube 2. Nice heavy duty cardboard box, and 250 lovely little cards in each cube, and each one gives you a lovely photograph, and then the colors are taken from it, and then all of this. Well, guess what? Sarah Renee Clark, who creates this, now this is not a paid promotion. However, there is a link in the description, which is an affiliate link. So I just want to be upfront with you. If you purchase through the affiliate link, I do get a little bit of money back, but I'm not being paid to show you this in any way. So Sarah has been taking in apparently all of the comments that have been made. And remember, the cube wasn't originally designed for quilters, but when I found that it would be like the quilter's best friend. You want inspiration for a quilt? We did our whole first quilt this year, the easiest quilt ever that was just squares. Every single one of those blocks we did were based on a palette from the color cube that you guys chose. I thought it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. So she's been taking in all of the the information that people said. And one of the things is that it's kind of hard to get these cards out, right? I don't find them super hard, but I know what they mean. You don't got a lot of room in there. And so they were asking for that change. And something that all of us noticed was that on a couple of cards, they had the same color name, but the color numbers were different and they didn't look like the same color. So it looked like there were two, we'll just say pine greens or something. And so all of that. Oh, and the other thing they noticed and had information on was apparently Americans don't know that if you spell color with a U, like it is spelled all over Europe, that's a correct spelling. They think it's only correct if we spell it C-O-L-O-R. So Sarah has done us here in the US a solid. And she has made sure all the names are now printed in US English, if you get the color cube in English. So apparently that was a big problem. I didn't think it was a problem, but that's just me. Enough people did that she's made this change. So anyway, so that was, and there were two of these. So you had, if you bought both of them, you had 500 cards. So she has gone and updated those first two cubes. She has not synchronized, standardized. That's the word I want to use. She's standardized all the colors. If you use her online version, there's even like more color numbers and all for different types of paints and stuff like this, because it's really made more for different types of artists, but it works great for quilters. So she standardized the colors. So you won't see two mustards or two pine greens or anything like that again. She's updated some of the photos and the color chips. She's kept the cards the same, but she's changed the box. I mean, she's changed pictures, but she's kept the number of cards the same. But here is the new volume 1. They now come with this really cool little belly band on them, which you can take off. And there is a seam right here. If you pop this seam open, see all this information on the inside? It gives you a whole bunch of new information on how to use this color cube. But here's the cool thing that she's done, one of the cool things. Wood. The boxes are now wooden, so they're not going to get crumpled edges and all like they would with the cardboard. So knock wood, because that's what they are. The color cube boxes are now made of wood. And so let me show you the difference. This is the lid of the original color cube. I didn't mind that it was like this. I mean, I didn't have any concern. Any of the concerns she got were not concerns that I had, except it just found it funny that we had words that were colors that were the same with different numbers. And that was because the process she used, there had been not a standardization for that. Now there is. Look at this is the lid. So the lid can now be used as a secondary box. So like if you want to have one box with all your cards and use the other side, leave it that way for the cards, like say you're using for a current project, you can do that. And look, she's added tabs, 11 tabs per box. And all the tabs in each box come in a little envelope like this so that they're nice and pristine when you get them, so they don't get crunched in shipping, all that. That would make them grody. We don't like that. So let's look at the card. The card gives you the picture of every card that's in that section. And on the back, it tells you the number. So now you can easily go to a certain number, or let's say there is a set in here. So the backs of them are numbered. The fronts of those tabs have category names. So one I thought was interesting. Let me pull it out. Is this the one? I'm reading it. It's autumn. So this is the autumn set of cards. So I would assume those are the cards. Those are the numbers. So all of these would be autumn. Now, I don't really consider that autumn. I consider it summer, but who am I? That I consider spring. Maybe I grabbed the wrong section. Yeah, these, I think I've grabbed the wrong section. 181, is that where this starts? No, I've grabbed the right section. This is really interesting. These cards are not, these are not the right cards. Ooh, I bet she doesn't know that. I'm going to have to let her know. Okay, I will let her know that. For some reason, the cards on here are not these cards. The numbers, I'll have to let her know. Something's not quite right there. But anyway, the cards, oh, I know why. It's because I picked the cards behind it, not in front of it. The cards go in front of it. There we go. There we go. The cards are in front of the tab, not in back. So there's not a problem there. 161. Yep, that's it. So autumn colors in this one. Ooh, look at that chocolate. Oh, I love it. So if you want to look by category, you can. If you want to look by number, you can as well. Let me just slip these back in there. And so now it makes it a little bit easier to get to them because you can like just go in front of the tab itself. And then each one of these has one extra card in it like this that gives you a bunch more information. And it's a nice placeholder as well, like especially if you're going to use the second box for your pieces. So box 1 and box 2, or cube 1 and cube 2, she kept them the same size cards, the same good quality cards, but the boxes are now wood. So this is volume 1. This is volume 2. Aren't those pretty? And she did something really special about how she ended up with the colors on the cube boxes. You can watch her video on her channel for that because I can't quite explain it. It has to do with some program she used and I didn't get that. But she did that and they come. So if you're thinking about like a gift and you want someone to give them to you at the holidays, if you buy both cubes, they come in this really nice box. Let's make it so you can see it. They come in this really nice heavy duty box. Don't throw this away because you know what fits in here really beautifully? Fat quarters. So a great place to store some fat quarters if you have overages or something like that. But then there's not 1 or 2 color cubes anymore. No. There's now a 3rd color cube. And there is a 4th color cube. That's right, you guys. Not 500 cards of inspiration anymore, but 1,000 different cards. So let me take the belly band, just like the belly band on the first 2 boxes. Ooh, this one's a little tighter on here. Probably because I haven't opened this one as much. But inside, it gives you all bunches of new information. Just take it apart at the seam there. Again, knock wood because the boxes are wood now. And so this is volume 3. And look, 3 and 4 have a black background. Doesn't that look kind of cool? So you know what this reminds me of? Now, I'm dating myself, but some of you let me know if you know Rubik's Cube. That's exactly what the 3rd and 4th boxes remind me of because Rubik's Cube had a black background and all the colors. But aren't they beautiful? And just like with the other ones, they have the tabs now. There's 500 or 250 in a box. So with all 4 boxes, if you were to have, and this comes in that same beautiful box that I just showed you, but in black. So that's all matchy. And look right there, you guys, all my favorite colors right there on one side. This is box 4. These are new photographs. They are new color combinations for inspiration. All the color numbers have been, again, standardized. So you've got all of that. You're not going to run into any kind of crazy double numbers and things like that. You're going to have them spelled the way we spell them in the U.S. if that's important to you. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. New belly band. No, I think I covered it. So all of these are new. You can buy them individually, as always. You can buy them together. Do you have to replace your first 2 boxes? No, not really. They're not selling the original boxes anymore. Okay, they're gone. So if you order them for the first time, you're getting the new set. If you want to replace them, you want the better system, you want the better box, the new pictures and all, they're all in the new ones. But the original 2 sets are perfectly still good to use. If you have them, keep using them. Keep pulling one out to inspire you on fabric colors, taking that card with you to the fabric store to pick out your colors. there was one more thing I was going to say. Oh, but volume 3 and 4, if you just want volume 3 and 4, just maybe because you like the color of the boxes with the black background, you can do that too. So you can buy them in sets, you can buy them singly, you can get them all 4 together if you want to. So again, I do have a link in the description, which is an affiliate link. And so I appreciate it if you go and look, and if you make your purchase through that, thank you very much. But I wanted to show this to you last week because I had just gotten it, but I hadn't had time to open it up and put it all together and it's super nice. And I highly recommend that you go check out her video for this. Like I said, she didn't make this for fabric and for quilters, but I think that the Color Cube by Sarah Renee Clark is the best color tool for quilters that I've ever seen. One, if you just don't like picking out colors because you're hesitant, or if it scares you, or if you're like me and sometimes I get in a rut with one color palette that I love, picking these cards can really help you burst out of that color thing, that color rut as well. So I wanted to tell you about those tonight. I might be doing a full video on them. I don't know yet. I don't know if I have time, but I wanted to show them all to you. I was really excited, and they look so pretty together, all 4 of them now. I kind of actually wish personally that she would have made the backgrounds black on the original 2 boxes too, but I know she wanted to keep them like the original cubes. And I have my original cubes, and to be honest, I'll still use my original cubes too, because these look so pretty with the belly bands on them that I might take them off. Alrighty, so that is, do you guys like that? Do you like that there's 500 more beautiful color sets? I loved it. Alrighty, everybody. So that all being said, Sue said that she thought she would make the Star Chart quilt, our year-end quilt-along quilt, in holiday colors. Well, that leads me to tonight's block number 10. It is this block. And these fabrics are by the Mary Catherine collection by Amy Smart. I showed you some of those recently in the Fat Quarter bundle that I got for Riley Blake. So that's our block. And here it is all made up. Now this block reminds me of a block called Crossroads. Like this would be your center, and then you can go in any of the cardinal directions. This is not that block, but it kind of reminds me of that block. So it's crossroad-esque, I guess. But I really like this. I like this block for if you're going to do a 2-block quilt. Like what if we took that block right there that we love so much with all the colors and did a quilt, and instead of making it so completely random, we like curated a color combination, maybe using a color combination from the Color Cube or from, let's say, a Fat Quarter bundle. Those 2 together, I know you can't see that. Let's see. That's better. Maybe, but my arm's there. Anyway, those 2 would make a great 2-block quilt. And that's one of the things I want you to get used to doing with these as we go along, is thinking about, I could use this block as a whole single block quilt, or maybe I two blocks together and do a 2-block quilt, 4-block quilt. At the end, when we're done with all 24 of our blocks, we are going to talk about layout and stuff with all 24 blocks, but we'll talk about the idea of using these blocks together as like 2 or 3 or 4 block quilts then at that time too. Thank you, Sue. Sue says she likes this block too. That's high praise. Thanks, Sue. So this block is made of 2 segments, 5 squares and 8 half square triangles. Now remember, you have to have, for those of you that are new and don't know, you have to have one of our basic combo sets, either the standard size, which you get all 6 of those segments, which are the most often used in quilting, in 6 sizes. So 3, 4, and 5 inch. Or you can get our mini set and you get those in 1, 1.5, and 2 inch sizes. That gives you your digital file for your embroidery machine, and it gives you the how-to videos, and it gives you what we call a cut list. If I want to end up with a 3-inch square or a 3-inch block, What do I cut my fabric with to start with? All that information is in here. They're all downloadable. I like keeping mine in a binder because it's just easy for me to pull it and look at my cut sheets and things like that. So you can print it off if you like, or you can see it on your computer or your tablet if you want to as well. So I think this one makes a great filler block. And I love the fabrics I chose. Let's look at these close up. This one right here is the teeny tiny gingham. And I know it's in a couple of other colorways within that Mary Catherine collection, but this almost looks like homespun to me. I just thought it was really pretty that way, as our flying geese bodies. And then the green fabric here is what I used for the wings, because the wings is what helps to make the background and your squares. But I was thinking when Sue said, I had said this in the video earlier that posted today for this block, this quilt would look lovely in holiday colors. And I think these two fabrics would make lovely holiday themed colors. Softer, more washed out. So if you like more of that farmhouse look, if you like more of a country look in your quilting or in your home decor, these fabrics would work beautifully. Now, I know these are based on like 1940s colors and prints and stuff like that, but I think they would make really beautiful greens and reds for holiday quilts if you wanted them in those softer tones. I think they would be beautiful. Thank you, Sue. Sue likes these fabrics too. Yeah, I think they're really pretty. Amy, I would love to get Amy here with us one Wednesday night and talk to her about how she does her fabrics, because her collections are gorgeous. They're so opposite of Tula, whom you know how much I love and adore Tula's fabrics. But I love Tula's fabrics, but to be honest, I'm not a fabric snob. Like I will only use one or two collections of fabrics. There are a lot of fabric collections and designers who I really love, because there are a lot of really talented fabric people out there. Somebody asked me one day when I was going to do a fabric collection, and I said, 0, never. I don't have that talent. That's not me. And there are enough really great designers out there that I am happy to buy their fabric. Because like I can't sketch and draw and stuff like flowers and things like that. I mean, I've watched a couple of videos on how people like generally do their fabric collections, like with the company and all the strike offs, all that. I get all of that technical stuff. But it's like coming up with the designs. I'm rubbish at that. So there's never going to be one. I'm pretty sure. I mean, never say never, right? But I'm about 99.9% sure there's never going to be one. But I really loved this, and I loved how this turned out. But I think it looks really beautiful with some of these other blocks. I really kind of like it with this one too, which is called Tilt-A-Whirl. Now, this our friend Angela from the group, she gave us the name for this block from 2 weeks ago, called Tilt-A-Whirl. Except for this darker color here. All of those fabrics are other fabrics from this same Mary Catherine line. So look at how different those blocks look, and yet all of those fabrics are from the exact same line. So you can get, that's what I mean, like when you get a fat quarter bundle, you can get lots of different looks from just one fat quarter bundle. So this was our block last week. This is this is the Americana collection from Lori Holt. So it's completely different, but it's interesting to see just two of those fabrics versus all of those fabrics and what a difference they actually make. So I hope you guys like this one. I hope you will make this one. Let's look at the pattern a little bit. So there's the diagram. I didn't really get the best colors, but I tried to. It was kind of hard to get just flat colors that looked like these, but there it is in the fabrics. Again, as always, there is the layout information, and it tells you need 2 colors. It tells you what to make in each one. And then, so you'll use this to find out what you're making. Then you will go to whichever of our combo sets you have, the miniatures or the standard size. You'll pick your flying geese unit and your square. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, flying geese in your square in the size you want, and then you'll make them according to your pattern here. So with their sets, if you do the minis, you can do those. You could do one of those as a 3x3 square. I'm really tempted to do some of those as really tiny squares. I think they could be really cute. If you did all 24 of these blocks as the 3x3 squares, you'd end up with a really cute like table mat or something. It would be a great sampler mat, I think. So that's what comes in your, plus your general information, general supplies and things like that. But that's what comes in the download. The download is free, and you can get that over at our website. You can also get the your Build a Quilt sets over there as well, the basic combo or the mini basics set. All of those are over at the website. Now, if you're new, like the folks that have been with us for a while know this, but if you're new, then if you have any questions before you purchase your sets, contact me at support@sewuncommon.com, and I'll be happy to help you out with any of those questions before you make a purchase. Okay. Alrighty. So this is block number 10. And so since this isn't the Crossroads, I don't have a history for it because I just kind of put it together on my own. But when I went back and started looking to make sure that I hadn't missed this block somewhere in some encyclopedia or book on blocks, I didn't see anyone that was exactly like this. The closest I could find was the Crossroad block, but it's different than this a little bit. Generally the same idea, but it was different enough. So I can't call this a Crossroads block, but you could kind of think of it Crossroad-esque, right? So remember when you're making it, all of your geese are pointing outwards. They're not pointing inwards. If you point them inwards, you're going to get a little bit of a different look. So if you want to, before you sew them together, flip those flying geese around and kind of see how that works out for you. You might like it as a whole different block that way. If the look is different enough and you did one block arrangement in 2 colors and the other block arrangement in 2 different colors, that could make a cute 2-block quilt too. 2-block quilts are really fun to make because, one, you only need 2 blocks, but you can do a lot with color and stuff with them, and we're going to talk about that more. Any questions at all about this tonight, folks? Any questions at all about our new block? We will go ahead and put it, if I can, I'm in tight spaces over here. If I can get this turned around, we'll put our block up here. Now, I could have, and let's talk about this for a second. We could, with this block, there we go, I could have fussy cut those flowers. They've not been fussy cut, but I could fussy cut them. Or you could take some other fabric that you want to fussy cut. You could always put that right in the center. Now, I thought the other idea that I thought about when I was putting this together was, what if we put a 1/4 square triangle there? Remember, our center blocks in these 9 patches are kind of like a wild card when you're playing cards, right? You can kind of make them what you want. Remember, in the sets, you have 6 different blocks to go by. Now, you can't really you could put 2 more flying geese there, but I'm not sure that would really do anything for that block. I chose to use the square. You could put a 1/2 square there. I'm not sure what that would do for it either, but you could play with that. You could do a split rail there. You could do 1 in 1 color. Yeah, maybe. That could be okay. But the 2 that really work nicely anytime as a central block in a 9 patch are your diamond in a square and your 1/4 square. So keep that little note in your mind. Or if you've got your set and you've got it, go to those pages and write yourself a note that says, always works great as a center block in a 9 patch, or really in even a larger block. But if it is a block that has a central block like that, those 2 blocks, the diamond in a square and the quarter square triangle are always going to make nice substitutes for what's ever there. So the diamond in a square. So what I would do with the diamond in a square is I would probably make the 4 corners. So my 4 little corners here, I would make them in the little gingham fabric. And I would still do the centerpiece in this fabric. Okay. Or you could reverse it. You might like it different, but that's probably what I would do. But the diamond in a square is another great block if you want to do fussy cutting. We've talked about that many times, so don't forget. Maybe because those flowers aren't huge, you could easily fussy cut that bigger flower and make it fit into here if you were doing the 3, 4, or 5 inch blocks. If you're doing smaller ones, you could do maybe the smaller blue flower. And that smaller blue flower is a cute idea because although blue is in this green fabric, it doesn't really look to be represented in this block because the green and the red really show up. However, if you fussy cut this blue and put it in the center, especially in a block made with our mini set, that would really highlight that blue flower, and it would draw your eye to the blue in the rest of that fabric as well. So that's something you can do as well when you're looking at prints. Maybe it's not the one of the main colors, but maybe there's another color in it that if you highlighted it in a way by making it a fussy cut, you could then draw your eye to that part of the print more if you wanted to, if that's something you wanted to bring out in the quilt. And the only way, guys, that you know, ladies and gentlemen, not guys, because I know we have ladies and I know we have some gentlemen that watch us. And I always say when someone calls me a guy, I need to wear darker lipstick. So, so folks, when you're making your quilts, you're never going to know whether that fussy cut is going to do for you what you want it to do unless you make one unit and give it a try. You don't have to sew it into the block, but make it with the fussy cut. Make the one that you think, this is the one I need to use for the majority of the quilt. You don't have to make, if you did a whole quilt of this, not every single one of those squares would have to have a fussy cut in the middle. In fact, I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend scattering your fussy cuts because then your eye sees more movement, but it still brings out that color instead of every single one of them being fussy cut in the center. But you're never going to know unless you give it a try and just lay that block in the center there and kind of leave it there. Don't make a quick decision. Here's another thing. Don't make a quick decision. Set it there, kind of look at it, think about it, walk away, maybe do something else, maybe go refill your coffee mug or your tea or your hot chocolate so you're, maybe it pulls you back from the edge from looking like this little gal here. Keeps you more on this track, I guess. But do something else. Maybe go change out the laundry, put the stuff from the washer in the dryer, or maybe go, I don't know, do whatever you want, right? Anything, but walk away for a few minutes, like 5 minutes, walk away, then come back and look at it again, because trust me, your eyes will see it differently. Because when you first put it there, you're going to have a very instant judgment of what that looks like, because you're already thinking to anticipate it looking a certain way. But if you walk away and your brain starts thinking about something else, when you walk back, you're going to have more of a natural reaction to what you're seeing, because your brain is going to kind of forgotten what you thought about it before, and you're going to see it and go, oh, or oh, and it might be that, and then if it doesn't work out, you've made one block, you put it in your pile of sample pieces that you use, and you can use it another time if you want, if you're just trying to figure out where those types of blocks would go if you're designing your own quilt. But give those a try, because otherwise you won't know if you like it or not. And if you think you're going to like it, it's worth giving it a try, because if you don't, you've just made one little block and that's all there is to that. Okay. So that's kind of the idea around doing that diamond in a square. Now, with our quarter square triangle. Our quarter square triangle is that fun little block, just like we see it right here in this block right here, where if I do every single one of those 4 pieces differently, I just have color, 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 beautiful color, right? And the only thing we did different is on our 4 polar ones, the one piece on the outside was the background fabric to make a complete background look, but everything else purely random. Close my eyes, picked, made it, right? But with a quarter square triangle, we can always choose 2 colors, just like the 2 colors that you're going to choose for this block. So you don't have to choose 4 colors. You could, if you wanted, if you had 2 other fabrics kind of in this color idea, 2 of the other prints from, say, a collection that looked really close, but you kind of wanted to put a little of those into the quilt, into the block, you could give them a try. Or you could just do the 2 fabrics you've already chosen. And so that would be, you know, they would be opposite from each other. So like say those 2 would be my greens, those 2 would be my reds for this particular thing. And then you can kind of play with it and see how you like it. All right. So when you use a quarter square triangle, if it's something that's out here in a corner, then that color can lead you into another block. So that's a fun way to make it. But with this, when you're going to put it right in the center, you don't need to go crazy and worry about that. You just need to either pick the 2 colors you're using or maybe try those 2 colors and 2 other fabrics from that same line or that are just that same color scenario. Alrighty, and then you can play with that and really figure out what you want to do with that. And these 2 squares right here are really good for that. Now, I like using the split rail sometimes in the middle too. I'm not sure what it would do for that particular block, but it's another good one for a center. Alrighty, everybody. We are just about done. I do not have a question of the week this week. You can blame IKEA because I was so upset that I forgot to make one, and I apologize. But I should tell you that I did make that video of the first 6 of the blocks, the combo. Because of IKEA, I didn't get it posted, but I'll post it tomorrow morning. I'll run, have breakfast, and then I'll post that video. So that combo video of the first 6 blocks will be out tomorrow for you, and you can check that out. All right. Again, everybody, if you need to contact me, you can do so at support@sewuncommon.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see your pictures of any of the blocks you've made, any projects you're making. And when I say any projects, they don't have to be Build a Quilt projects. If you're making a project from another quilting brand that you like, or a quilt that you've designed on your own, send me those pictures. Those inspire us all, and I love to see them. Build a Quilt is a technique to help you make beautiful quilts. I'll be the first to tell you it's not the only way to make quilts. I wish, I hope that lots of people get enjoyment from making their quilts this way, and I think they do. They seem to, but I would love seeing your quilts no matter how you're creating them. In fact, if you're making them from another scenario, I'd love to see that. That always gives us ideas. It's always good to keep an open mind. But anyway, pictures, comments, questions, you can always send them to me here at this email address. You can always leave comments in the comments below. I love to see those. And I will tell you, I get back to emails right away. Comments sometimes take me a little bit of time to find them on YouTube because I have to find them through the app on my phone, the YouTube app on my phone, because for some reason, the website one, they seem to hide them on me. It's really kind of, it's like the one downside that I have. Sometimes it's hard to find those comments, but I look every day, like every which way I know how to look, I look to try to make sure that I found them. But if for some reason it's been like a few days and I haven't said anything about your comment, drop me that email and I will for sure, and I'll go digging some more. I do apologize, but I love seeing your comments in the comments below. And then, of course, the website is www.mybuildaquilt.com for your free download for the information on tonight's and how to get your 2 sets, one or both of your 2 sets that you want to get for the actual patterns, the digital patterns that you need to make. So if you like this video, folks, and you want to see more Build a Quilt, and you want to have some more special benefits and things like that, consider maybe becoming one of our channel members. That little button right on our homepage, it says join. If you click it, it brings up a little video that tells you what channel memberships are about. Now, I'm going to tell you, channel memberships for Build a Quilt is going to change in a big, huge way come January 1st. Something that we already do is going to be done differently, and I think you're going to like it more. So be on the lookout for that. I'm hoping to announce it here in the next few weeks, definitely before Thanksgiving, but I'm hoping to do, oh gosh, Thanksgiving's only a couple of weeks away. I'm still in October in my mind, and we're halfway through November practically. But anyway, so some really cool stuff is coming, and I have some more really cool stuff coming that I'm going to share with you for the new year as well. So lots of good stuff coming, and it's all because of you guys. You are the ones that help build this community, and I couldn't thank you more. So as I always say, right, if you're new, you'll be hearing this for the first time. If not, you'll know what I'm saying. Quilters are quilters in their own, are artists in their own right. We make the world a beautiful and more loving place every time we make and give a quilt to someone else. So let's go out this week and let's quilt life beautiful. Until next time, everybody. Bye for now.